campus fame promised everything, but Ngozi soon discovers it demands a price she wasn't ready to pay. Ngozi and Amara were best friends from a small town in Nigeria. Their parents struggled to put them through university, sacrificing everything to pay school fees. Before they left for campus, their parents gave them one instruction: study hard. Do not forget why you are here. When they arrived at university, the world looked different. On their very first day, they were surrounded by girls in Brazilian wigs, body-hugging dresses, and designer heels that clicked on the floor like power. Their nails long and polished, and their iPhones glittering with gold-plated cases. While Amara and Ngozi wore simple Ankara gowns and flat sandals. Their hair was braided neatly, but plain, and their bags were second-hand. The rich girls sneered, "See these ones fresher babes from village. Even my househelp wears better cloth than this." Amara's cheeks burned, but she pulled Ngozi's hand. "Don't mind them. We came to read books." Yet Ngozi could not shake the shame. Soon Kioma entered their world. She was the queen of campus, tall, flawless skin glowing under the sun, her 28-inch bone-straight wig flowing down her back, her eyes hidden behind designer shades. She wore a Gucci bag slung carelessly over her shoulder and walked in heels as though the ground belonged to her. Boys stared, girls envied. One afternoon, Kioma stopped Ngozi after class. She scanned her from head to toe, then smiled slyly. "Ngozi, you're too fine to suffer. Join us. Or do you want to end up poor all your life?" Ngozi hesitated. "I don't know." Amara pulled her aside later. "Don't listen to them. We came here to study, not to compete with their fake lives." But Kioma's words lingered. She promised Ngozi a better life, soft wigs, fresh clothes, and enough money to help her parents. But Ngozi's heart was restless. Poverty was heavy. For weeks she wrestled with her thoughts. Every night, she remembered her mother's cracked hands washing clothes for neighbors, her father's tired eyes after farm work, her younger siblings going to bed hungry. The temptation grew stronger each day until finally she gave in. A week later, Kioma introduced her to Chief Obina. He was a man of presence, tall, broad-shouldered, wearing a flowing white agbada embroidered in gold, heavy rings on his fingers, and a red cap that marked him as a title man. His convoy of SUVs filled the street outside. "Welcome, my daughter," he said, his deep voice commanding. "Beauty like yours should not suffer. Eat, drink, and enjoy life." That night he pressed a shiny iPhone into her hand and gave her an envelope stuffed with money. Within weeks, Ngozi transformed. She wore lace tops, ripped jeans, designer sneakers, and Brazilian wigs. Her hostel room now smelled of expensive perfumes and body sprays. On campus, people stared. "Is this the same Ngozi who used to wear village Ankara last month? She has changed so much." This new life came with a new attitude. She began attending parties with Kioma's clique, dancing the night away in exclusive clubs, her laughter loud and careless. She became a regular at high-end boutiques, where she would swipe Chief's black card for handbags and shoes without even looking at the price tags. One afternoon, as she and Kioma strode across campus, laden with shopping bags from a trip to the mall, they passed a group of new students. The girls were huddled together, looking overwhelmed and out of place in their simple, homemade clothes and scuffed shoes. Kioma let out a condescending chuckle. "Look at them. So local. Do they think this is a village market?" Ngozi, feeling a surge of superiority, snorted in agreement. "Honestly, they shouldn't even be admitted if they can't afford to be here properly." "It's embarrassing." The words tasted like ash in her mouth even as she said them, but the desire to belong to Kioma's world was stronger than the memory of her own mother's sacrifices. That night, however, as she lay in her bed surrounded by the faint smell of new leather and perfume, a sliver of unease pierced her happiness. She had just sent her mother a large sum of money, and her mother's voice on the phone had been filled with tearful gratitude and concern. "My daughter, where is all this coming from? Please, are you sure this is right?" Staring at the ceiling, Ngozi questioned herself. "Is this right?" The question echoed in a silence. She thought of Amara's hurt eyes. She thought of the new students she had mocked. She remembered her father's calloused hands handing her his little savings. A cold knot tightened in her stomach. This life Kioma offered was like a trap, beautiful and glittering on the surface, but threatening to pull her under with every step she took. What is the real price? She wondered. But then she touched the soft silk of her new pajamas and felt the cool screen of her latest iPhone. The discomfort was short-lived, drowned out by the tangible proof of her new status. She rolled over, pushing the doubt away. The price, whatever it was, felt worth it for now. Her social circle grew. She posted pictures in restaurants, hotels, and with Kioma's clique. Everyone admired her glow-up, everyone except Amara, who watched in silence, heart heavy. She tried to talk to Ngozi one evening. "My sister, is this really the life you want? Today it is wig and phone. Tomorrow, what if it costs you more than money?" But Ngozi turned away. "Amara, you won't understand. My family needs me. This is my chance." Weeks later, Kioma leaned close to Ngozi after a lecture, her eyes sharp behind her shades. "Chief wants to see you tonight. Don't disappoint." Ngozi hesitated, but agreed. Ngozi thought it was just another outing. Little did she know what was awaiting her. That evening, Ngozi wore a glittering gold gown that hugged her body, her hair styled in curls that bounced as she walked. Kioma arrived with two other girls, each in sleek, shimmering dresses. They drove in tinted SUVs to Chief's mansion. The compound blazed with light. Music thundered, young men and women danced, and drinks flowed in crystal glasses. Laughter echoed. For a while, Ngozi relaxed. Maybe this was just another night of enjoyment. But as the hours passed, groups slipped away, disappearing into the mansion's inner rooms. The laughter thinned, the music slowed. Ngozi's eyelids grew heavy. The drink in her hand felt strangely bitter, her vision blurred. The last thing she saw was Kioma's sly smile and Chief Obina's deep laugh and the glint of candlelight. When she woke, she was no longer in the mansion's party hall. She was in a dark underground chamber, candles flickering, charms and skulls lined the walls. Blood-stained cloths hung in corners. At the center stood an altar red with sacrifice. Ngozi's heart pounded in terror. Chief Obina's deep voice echoed. "Ngozi, every good life has its price. Tonight, you will be bound to us forever." Kioma stood beside him, smirking. "This is the price, Ngozi. Every soft life requires a sacrifice. Tonight, it is yours." Ngozi wept. She thought of her mother in the village, of Amara, of the promises she made. She could not die here. As Chief began chanting, Ngozi slumped forward, pretending to be unconscious. One careless guard loosened his grip. In a flash, she twisted free, grabbed a candle from the altar, and hurled it at the curtains. Flames roared, smoke filled the chamber. "Fire!" a voice shouted. Panic erupted. As guards scrambled, Ngozi ran blindly through the smoke, stumbling until she burst into the compound, screaming. Neighbors rushed out, shocked. Moments later, officers stormed the compound. They uncovered the hidden chamber, dragged Chief Obuna and Kioma out in handcuffs. The once glamorous queen and her powerful patron were exposed, their empire of lies reduced to ash. News spread across campus. The glamorous life that had dazzled so many was exposed as a facade built on evil. Students whispered in fear, realizing how close they all had come to destruction. Amara wept when she saw Ngozi alive. "I warned you, my sister. But thank God you escaped." Ngozi nodded, her voice trembling. "I thought I was helping my family, but I almost destroyed myself. Nothing in this world is worth losing your soul." Moral lesson: peer pressure and the lure of wealth can blind even the purest hearts. True success is built with patience and integrity. Shortcuts lead only to destruction. The end.